Rose, the actress for Batwoman, has left. That means CW has to cast a new Batwoman. So we're here freaking out. In the middle of a season, she already did a crossover event with all the other CW actors. We want to know what's the real reason she quit, right? So why did she quit? We know there's a couple of things. This is one of her biggest projects she's taken on in her acting career. You know, being a regular on a CW show takes a lot of time and commitment and a lot of physical activity, of course, if you're playing a superhero. We know back in 2019, she got into a huge accident and she almost was paralyzed. You know, and being in the CW causes her to live like 6 months to 8 months in Vancouver, where she's from Australia. So we know there's that homesick going on.
Cold to hot.
Yep. So I want to know, like, do you think, Chris, that's like the injury and the extensive hours, is it just too much for her to do and that she had to back out? Or was there like, maybe there was fighting with her in CW? I wanted to see what you were thinking. I'm thinking more the injury and like it was just too much time.
I think it's kind of, it's all the above, right? I think it's kind of a, you know, with any person, celebrity or normal, there comes a breaking point or a boiling point. Mm-hmm. And if things start adding up negatively and adding up, they're going to burst. I think with the case of Ruby Rose, she, you know, was cast as Batwoman, this great character, not only just, you know, superhero character in the DC universe, but also a character she can relate to very well, right? Like, personally. I think with everything going on with the injuries, the, you know, 16 to 20 hour days every day.
It's a lot.
With, you know, the CW demanding this and kind of this, and we don't know behind the scenes, right? Again, I say this all the time, CW is a network television show. It's not cable. The quality is not going to be as good. I've gotten through one episode of Batwoman season 1, and it is not good by any standards in my personal opinion.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, here's the thing. I mean, in your personal opinion, it may not be that well. For me, you know, it's not the greatest, but it's suitable. But arguably, the show is doing well on the metrics, right? You know, it is number 3 on like the rest of the CW roster. Yep. There's a lot of fans that like it, a lot of big interaction.
It got renewed.
It got renewed, which a lot of us more skeptical, you know, reviewers and critics and fans of the superhero genre didn't think was going to happen. Mm-hmm. So I don't think it's the CW putting pressure on her. I think it's more her needing to bow out. And like we know, she wrote a nice, beautiful letter to the director thanking him for the opportunity.
But we don't know. Like, again, that to me is Hollywood.
Okay, you think so?
We don't know behind the scenes. Yeah, like we don't know behind the scenes if there were rifts and fights. Like, she did, you know, I know Ruby Rose was really big on Orange is the New Black, even though it's a show I didn't watch.
She had a small arc on it, yeah.
A small arc on it. A Netflix show, which is obviously a lot of money. It was a big show on Netflix. Not as much time. She did a couple movies. You know, she did like a XXX movie. She did Meg. She did a couple movies. Nothing like Oscar-worthy. But you're talking like a 3-month period, normal hours. The other side of this is also, you know, I think it's kind of a couple-sided. I think she was really tired of the fans.
You think? Really? Tired of the fans?
Yeah, there was a lot of fan
backlash? Okay.
There's weird, like, stuff on the internet about her, like she's not actually a lesbian, she's faking it.
Oh, wow. People are toxic, man. That's just not right.
Toxic stupidity, which I don't want to go too far into, because, again...
We don't need toxicity. I'm fine with that.
No, but, like, basically, like, if someone came to you and told you what you are and none of it's right, you know, like, so she was getting a lot of backlash from fans that were like, she shouldn't be, you know, Kane, remember there's the Jewish thing in the beginning?
Oh, yeah.
Because she wasn't Jewish.
That's ridiculous.
Apparently that's offensive to, you know, internet trolls. So, like, that didn't really go away in the form of it just quieted down.
Okay.
Where that was still happening and she was kind of ignoring it, and I know she, like, dropped off of Twitter for a long time. But, like, that plus the 16 hours plus getting injured plus, honestly, maybe she was just unhappy with the quality of the show on top of it and was like,
maybe.
I think this is something everyone does, right? Where you look at your job, or everyone can look at their own job and say, would I put up with the same things at my job if I was making more money somewhere else? Mm-hmm. And I think that had to play with it too, right? Like, she's like, this show isn't that greatly done. The writing's
but she's not really tied to anything else right now. Like, she's not leaving this project for anything else. Not that she needs a reason to leave, right?
Yeah.
But, like...
And the other reason is, like, hey, what did you expect? Like, you're the lead on the show, right? Like, yeah, you're going to be there every day. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're going to be in almost every scene. Yeah, you're going to be this character for 15, 16 hours. That's what you signed up for. So I think there's a couple different sides. Obviously, we're never going to know really what happened.
Probably not.
I can't see there being any love lost. I can't see there being some type of like
negative feelings between. I think there are.
I think there's some arguments going on. I think there was some fighting going on.
I kind of feel like it was amicable. I think like Ruby Rose wasn't feeling it, and I think maybe CW wasn't really feeling her. So they just broke it off. And I think CW, to do this, and Ruby Rose, it's almost at the perfect time with, COVID-19 going on, right? And, like, all their shows, premieres got pushed to, like, next year, essentially. Yeah. Like, this year was, like, a gap year for everything, right? Mm-hmm. And so, like, they have the time to kind of sit down and reformulate their season, their show. And we do know that we've introduced time travel and alternate realities before. So changing a character in this universe may not be too hard. Hmm. So I think
you could give the argument that it was a post-crisis thing or something.
Correct, yeah, and that like she transitioned, and they could follow somebody else, or the Batwoman show could follow Barbara Gordon because Barbara Gordon becomes Batwoman, I think, at one point in the comics, if I'm not mistaken. So they could always.
Did she become Batwoman? I thought she was always Batgirl.
Maybe it's an Elseworth story I'm thinking of. I think I just read it.
You know what I would like based on what you just said, which I just formulated a plan.
Okay.
I want to really make this show good. Forget Kate Kane.
That's Batwoman.
I forget Kate Kane. I'm sorry. And I know there's an LGBT community who's probably very upset at me just saying that. But as far as a character, there's so many other Bat characters that are more, like, appealing as far as storyline. And if you want to keep Batwoman, they need to keep it the same universe, almost maybe like a futuristic story. Carrie Kelly, Batwoman.
Oh, interesting.
I'd watch that every day.
Interesting.
In the Dark Knight, not necessarily universe. It could be the universe lined up with Crisis, right? And it's the future when, you could still have no Batman because you could say Bruce Wayne's
don't you want
old.
like the crossover possibilities with Flash and Legends and all the other stuff? You want to keep
that can still happen. That can still happen with time. Flash still goes through time. The Legends are still on a time ship. That doesn't change. Carrie Kelly still could be a part of crossovers if they decide to do that. And maybe you could see kind of like when Superman and Lois starts, the older Superman in that show every once in a while flying around like the Kingdom Come style with the Greys.
As fun as I think that would be, I think awesome. They have already invested too much into developing the character of Kate Kane on the roster and to show Batwoman. I mean, a season and a crossover event, that's a lot of time and money to put in.
But the crossover event, I think, is a cop-out, though, because you have so many characters in the crossover event, it's like even Stephen Amell used to talk about it. He's like, you go to the crossover event and you think you're the shit, right? Because you're the guy who started all of this, and you're standing on set for 8 hours and you have like 10 minutes of actual talking. So like you really get like thrown back down.
I mean, I see that point. It's
that big a deal.
I think the CW producers and the directive heads don't see it as that.
No, I mean they can't, right? They got to make money.
So they're like, all right, we introduced this character here. She did really well in this because the numbers did well for that event, even though, arguably speaking, is one of the weaker ones. Now we have a show with her. People like the show, doing well. People seem to like Kate Kane. They like this character, Batwoman. I don't think they're going to take that big of a risk to change it to Carrie Kelly.
No, I don't. Granted, I don't think they're going to at all.
Okay.
I don't think there's any chance because that would actually be an intelligent thing to do for CW. But I don't think there's any way CW would do it because it's CW. I think if it was possibly like an HBO Max or something like that,
maybe
they could totally do it. But that to me would be the better play of pushing a Carrie Kelly, who in the comics is now in that Batwoman role with even a classic kind of bat suit to go along with her. I think she's the best, like one of the best Robins anyway. But
I want to go into with now we kind of touched upon why Ruby Rose left Batwoman, right? We kind of touched upon that. We figured it out. It's long hours, hopefully, right? This long hours. Maybe it's hopefully amicable. Yeah. maybe she was, missing home, the risk of
and
injury.
it's a shame. I like Ruby Rose. I don't want everyone to think like I'm just.
I thought she was fine in it. I thought she fit it.
I thought she was fine with it too. I thought she was really good. I thought she looked awesome in the suit.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she kicked ass because she's done a lot of action stuff. So I thought the fit was kind of perfect. But I'm also it was like a perfect fit. Also not surprised at the outcome though.
So here's my question to you:
Ooh.
The new Batwoman.
Oh.
We have to do a fan casting before we move on. We talk about other things.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about it. I've been on a Brooklyn Nine-Nine streak.
Okay.
I've been binging it.
God, I'm sorry.
Dude, the show's hysterical. I love it.
Really, it's okay.
It's great. It's great to binge. Probably maybe waiting week for week is not the best, but I enjoy it. But there's a character in it, Detective Diaz. It was Stephanie Beatrice.
Mm-hmm.
I think she would be great as Batwoman Kate Kane. No, she plays tough in there.
Is she the angry one?
Yeah.
Okay.
But my only concern is that she's Latino or Latina. Okay. Sorry, I don't know if they're gonna introduce that mix into her because I know that the CW wants to get a character who's also part of the LGBT community, and I don't know if Beatrice is. I don't know if she is. She could be.
Well, they might be able to get Amber Heard after she's kicked out as Mira.
No, that's a whole other discussion for another day.
They can totally get Amber Heard.
I don't think anybody's touching Amanda Heard right now.
I'd watch that all day. But I don't know.
You have anything else?
It's tough. I have some in mind that aren't LGBTQ.
Just give me one. Give me one, whether it fits LGBT community or not, or if you don't know, who's somebody that comes to mind that could be a good Kate Kane?
I forget her name, but she was on Game of Thrones.
There's like a million women in that.
She played, what the hell's her name? She's also in Captain America: First Avenger. She's got blonde hair. She gets killed by Cersei in the green Blackwater Bay style explosion in the temple. Natalie Dormer. Her.
Natalie Dormer?
Yeah, she played the queen who marries Cersei's son later on.
Oh!
Who's really badass and manipulative in the background.
Okay, I pull up some pictures of her. Natalie Dormer. That might be a good option.
And she kind of has these piercing eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Which to me, when you wear the cowl, it has to be shape of the face, but your eyes have to kind of be a little menacing and see through your soul.
I could see that. That's a good casting
combination, and she kind of has that kind of brooding, attractive face. So,
now, do you think CW? Because this is something that I don't think has ever been happened before, at least not to the public knowledge at this level, right? A main superhero has left a superhero show, or the main lead of a show leaves the show season 1. Usually means the show's over, right?
Yep.
But obviously CW is in the power seat, so they can do things, right? Because the superheroes, they can change it.
Yeah.
Do you think they have a list of backup Batwomens that they could do? Do you think they're prepared for this? Is the real question.
I think either way they'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's they're gonna hire someone who's known to replace her, or if they're gonna go the route of hiring a nobody, and that might be the easier route, right? Because if you go and hire a nobody, they're going to be itching for that job regardless, right? They're going to want to, the second it's hey, Ruby Rose is out as Batwoman, boom, put your name in that.
Oh, I'm sure they're getting calls left and right.
Yeah, so I don't think the casting's going to be as hard as far as, it's not always so much the casting part as the fit to something, to fit the show, to fit not only the show, but the actors that are established in that show and the characters that are established in that show. Chemistry is a big thing. So I think after the biggest extensive work is going to be seeing who fits the best in it, but I don't think it's going to be hard to cast. There's going to be newbies in Hollywood and nobodies in Hollywood that are going to want to make a name for themselves as a titular character.
Of course.
On a show that will probably go at least 6 seasons.
Yeah, that's the other thing. They could get a lesser known character that we don't even know of, and it'll just rock the world. Because who knew Stephen Amell before Arrow? Really?
No one.
I didn't.
Grant Gustin.
I saw him on Glee, but I didn't know that was even a person.
Melissa Benoist. No one. You know what I mean? So
also
you have all these people get cast, and Melissa Benoist was on one episode of Homeland or something.
Yeah.
She wasn't really doing much. And then Stephen Amell was kind of
That's what happens. These shows make
do
people
pull-up jumps.
Yeah. So I think I'm more looking forward to them to getting a lesser known actor and elevating them, if you will, because that's always fun to see as a fan. Like, oh wow, now this person could really be the embodiment of this character, and like that's the first person we think of. We don't think of, oh, this person is playing Batwoman. We think of this person as Batwoman, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, when we talked about Batman a billion times, right? Like, part of the reason, besides the George Clooney Batman being terrible, you look at that and you say, that's George Clooney as Batman. You don't look at it and say, oh, that's Batman.
But we look at Chris Evans and, like, that's Captain America. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
We
Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man.
Exactly.
Like, stuff like that. Not the actor is playing this.
Daniel Radcliffe is Harry Potter. Like, these people...
Christopher Reeve is Superman. Like, he was a nobody. And stuff like that. So I think nobody's usually the route they go anyway. Look at Stargirl. Stargirl just started, brand new actress, Britt Basinger. I haven't seen it yet. But again, she's brand new. Not really much on her resume, right? But she's going to be Stargirl for as long as that show will go, probably. So stuff like that is always a good thing.
So, guys, I think it's safe to say that we here at the Jersey Comic Group believe that Ruby LaRose left Batwoman due to a numerous amount of reasons. The true reasons may be what we have said, but may also not be brought to light. You know, I think the strict schedule and a lot of hours might have been too much of her. And I personally think Chris is on the same page. That injury that's definitely scared her probably made her step away. We wish nothing for the best for her. And, we're both excited to see what's going to happen with the Batwoman and CW in the future. And once we know more, we're definitely going to let you know more.